Hello and welcome back to CrestVahllen D&D, The Baker's Dozen. This will be episode 21, Weathered Arrival. Now, without further ado, let's get into the recap of the previous episode. Out on the open seas, the Baker's Dozen barters with the odd wayward merchant, Kenji, while he remains aboard his giant turtle, Benji. Sifting through his massive fishbowl of idiosyncratic goods, the party strikes a bargain for a magical pick, some armor, a Kuatoa fetish, some potions, and other odds and ends. A mishap involving a magical dart causing a whirlpool ends favorably, however, albeit dangerously. The vessels then part ways, and the Panbringer sets off to continue its voyage towards the Bagaket archipelago. Now, let's get back to the action. Welcome back to CrestVahllen. And welcome back to CrestVahllen D&D, everybody. The Baker's Dozen. Oh, God. The break was filled with a bunch of nonsense, including Italian men and bad cuts, and air conditioners fixing global warming. So if you want to know more about that, make sure you... What?
Is it running? Because I just saw it flip back off.
Yeah, it's running. Yeah.
Okay.
Quick update, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
It's not be more spontaneous, just be more spoontaneous.
This is ridiculous.
Gecko!
If you want to learn more about these silly jokes that we do during halftime, you can watch the gluten talk, and we're going to talk more about it and a bunch of other things. So make sure you stick around and subscribe so you get notifications about it. Cool. Anyway, so we left off with the way Sean eats Italian ice. He's like...
One piece by one.
Tiny little bites. Perfect.
All right.
Great. So we left off with you guys waking up in the morning of the 23rd of High Lock. Y'all are level 7. Nakano, your AC is back up to 15 now with your studded leather armor. If you want to make little spiky gloves and spiky pauldrons, that might be something you should ask somebody that can do something with fire with, so they can help forge your spikes. If you want to be like kind of punk.
Yeah.
You're going from emo to punk.
Fire.
It's orgy day.
What?
Ew.
Yeah.
It is. I remember this as a callback. I don't remember the specifics, but I do remember Orgy Day.
What?
God.
Yeah, so,
What?
Every month. Yeah, please do describe.
So,
Oh, is that like
So
part of
when-
having the crew? What is that?
no. So when Captain Avery found the idol and what was going on with Captain Avery? Like, we tried to bargain with him so he wouldn't, like, kill us all.
I mean, he definitely... Was this on his beloved island at that point? Probably.
Yeah.
You mean like when he came to try to grab the idol from the chest and like his...
Oh, he
the
came
ghost
all
of his
right.
Oh my god. And the ghost of his ex-crew...
Yeah.
The ghost, all the ghosts.
After we tied him down and he started flipping out, like, calm down. And I think Machete's like, oh, we have like a monthly orgy or something. I don't fully remember the details, but
I don't remember the details either. Oh my god. Get in the comments, guys.
Hopefully Avery forgets the details.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think because that's what it was. It was we had to tie him up with ropes, so we had to convince him to be tied up by ropes, and clearly the only way was.
Oh yeah.
He was being kinky about it, right?
Yep.
So we just tie him up again today?
Well,
Is that how
technically,
this goes?
Avery is no longer under like the full control of the Eldritch Idol. Like he still has that one like a tentacle arm thing.
But
that still looks like a fingers as long as he keeps his glove on.
He's still crazy.
He's still crazy. I'm gonna roll to see if he remembers like the details or if anything about this orgy. Because this is ridiculous. What's wrong with us? Okay, he does not. He rolled a 2. He doesn't remember anything about an orgy. He's although the ropes may have awakened something in him, but that's not for.
Oh God.
At least he has his own cabin. He can do whatever he wants there. But anyway, just so the way Sean is eating this Italian ice is like really indicative of the fact that it is.
This is how you use a spoon. You have to like get it to go on your tongue. You know.
I know. It's just like you're just pulling it out real slow. You're like.
Yeah, because I'm savoring it. It's tasty.
It's good Italian ice.
It's real Italian ice. I don't know what that means.
Is there fake Italian ice?
Made by real Italians.
How do you...
Like 3 ingredients in it. I can't imagine.
You can say this.
Ice and flavor.
Sean had spumoni for the first time last weekend.
What's spumoni?
What?
What's spumoni?
What is it?
I can make up words too.
You never been to L&B Spumoni Gardens? Okay.
No.
It's famous in Brooklyn. It's been around for 80 years. Okay.
What?
They have a Spumoni ice. It's like a famous ice. And pizza. They have pizza too.
So it's like flavored ice?
Yeah, it's like a pistachio chocolate vanilla combo.
Oh, okay.
I can get down with
Looks
that.
like nuts into it too.
Way off
And
topic
Hey guys,
now.
make sure you subscribe for more, obscure references
Bologna
of cool
ice.
foods.
Gecko.
Gecko. Well, do you know, Angela, do you know what speculoos is?
Speculoos, no.
Okay, there we
Like-
go. I got something too that you don't know. A food
Where?
item.
In
Speculoos
Manhattan?
is like cookie butter. No, it's just all over. It's a cookie butter. It's like peanut butter, but instead of peanut butter, it's like cookie butter. It's like if cookie dough was spreadable butter.
Yeah, think Biscoff crushed up into a butter.
Ooh.
That's the flavor of it.
I've had that.
You can
Yeah.
get it at Trader Joe's. That's really good.
Good.
Trader Joe's sponsor us. Also, Spumoni sponsor us. Anyway, moving on. It is the 23rd of Hylock, the morning of the morning of the supposed orgy that shall not take place. And
Thank you, DM.
He has a coupon.
Stop. I'll ban you. So now, okay. So who wants to roll the D100 for today's travel? Unless anybody wants to do anything before we start getting tech.
Captain Avery.
Oh, I vote a scoop
What do you want?
for...
Nothing.
All right then.
You want me to roll?
Who
Yeah.
wants to roll?
Okay. I got it.
Hurt is
25.
glaring at all of you, just with like this stink eye.
What?
Is everything okay, Hurt?
Gave away my hats.
That one hat was too big for you. It only fit a turtle. You know that.
We
Come on.
talked about this. Oh,
God.
you'll pay. Maybe not now, but you will. You'll pay.
But like that hat wouldn't have fit you. It would have been like a bikini, like a weird.
I'm still
bikini
growing.
on you. Okay.
What you were like 7 years old at once. You didn't grow at all.
Oh, you mean
You're
when I was
still the same height.
You mean when I was an old woman?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
That's ageist.
Your body physically didn't grow much bigger, though.
It's a real word.
So if I
No.
said that that this ship is too big for you and I just took it from you, I'd be within my right?
What?
I don't know.
This
I'm confused and angry.
What are you eating all these hats for anyway?
You
Hurt?
promised them.
You can still have there's still so many hats, and you can still use whatever hats you want all the time. You have a whole coffer of hats.
I haven't had time to go through all the hats, and you keep giving them away. Who's say at some point, where does it stop? Where does it end? When does the bottom of the crate come and hurt? Because end up with no hats and a broken promise.
We'll buy a new crate of hats. There will always be hats. I promise you a wealth of hats for always, Hurt.
You
I
do?
think we've got the soft spot for haberdashers. Do you want to? Hey, you want to go? I'll help you look for cool hats at the bottom right now. You want to go?
The bottom of the sea?
Let's go look at the bottom of the crate.
The bottom of the crate?
Yeah, let's go.
I mean,
Let's go fishing for hats.
I mean, I really should.
What?
He was like, I got it. Don't worry. And he was like, oh, okay. We'll go look.
All right, let's go fishing for hats. Come on.
Okay, fishing.
I got a
can do
20.
Fishing.
I got 25 on the die.
Oh, for okay, cool. So
The day,
Hurt and Misheni go diving into the crate of hats, and there you have it. While that's happening, we're going to see what happens today. Bum. If I can find my mouse, that is. There we are.
So did we roll for income for the bread and breakfast every week, right?
I don't think
Yes.
it's been a week yet, has it?
It hasn't been a week yet.
That's what I'm saying.
Whoever's keeping track of that, keep track of that, because I've got too much to keep track of. Let me know when you...
I'm just going to start it on... When do we leave?
I put it on that Excel sheet.
But yeah, I'm just going to put it like every first.
Well, it's every week, and weeks are only,
Whatever.
what, 6 days long?
Oh, shit.
Are they?
Yeah, I have to pull my calendar up.
I gotta,
Yeah, weeks are only 6 days long.
Yes,
I don't think we marked down on the sheet exactly what it would be per week, but I know we have at least on there just some general.
I have stuff for that on my end. I just need to know what you roll.
We left 400 at the bread and breakfast at least to kind of help just take care of things for a while. But
that was your
Let's see.
capital. That was your investment capital.
Yeah.
or is that in the monthly?
Well, you guys left on the 20th, so we're gonna say every 6 days from the 20th are going to be we're gonna find out. So so we're gonna say every kusha. Kusha is like a Tuesday in the week. So the days of the week are Zyla, which is like so imagine it's like a week, but they don't have a Wednesday. It's just like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And so Sunday is Zyla, Monday is Anda, Tuesday is Kusha, Thursday is Uriel, Friday is Adriel, and Saturday is Gondar, because no fighting on Gondar. So you guys left on 20th of Hylok, Kusha. And it is currently 23rd, Gondar.
23rd?
23rd.
no fighting today, guys.
No fighting today. So on the 26th of Hylok, and the 32nd of Hylok, and the 38th of Hylok, you will have to roll to see how well your thing is going. Okay. And then you can keep track of it in your Excel spreadsheet. Now, of course, you guys wouldn't know how well it is unless you do regular check-ins with like sending. But yeah. I don't want to bog down me keeping track of all this stuff. So I'll leave it to you and I'll just tell you what's happening. And then you just don't meta with your characters unless you check it. Make sense?
I mean, we could just do it and then check in later.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then
Scoop, do you want to keep track of that since you've got the sending and your business venture man with your 1% tax or whatever it is in Shylong too?
Oh yeah. Wonder how much money we have in Shylong.
Okay. I get the money in Shylong if it prospers. It's not just automatic.
Yeah, he has 2%.
It's going downhill.
Yeah, he pretty much like owns 2% of the real estate in.
So do you owe them money?
No, I own 2% of the island.
Yeah, he owns 2% of like the town of Shylong.
I see.
pretty much meaning like if the businesses that do well there, he gets part of like the taxes as it were. Does that make sense? Because he's like an angel investor and whatever. Cool. So rising tide rises all ships, that kind of thing. Cool. So as with a 25, today's travel, a large storm rolls in, but because you have a full complement of a crew, you're going to be doing all of these checks at advantage. So you get to do, we're going to do a little skill check here as boom, ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-bum, tension music happens, and the dark cloud gray rolls across the sky. The winds start to pick up. The waves begin to swell as crests form to stopping your view of the horizon as your ship starts to dip above and down. Rain begins to batter the canvas and the sides of your faces. Even in the middle of the sun is completely doused by the gray and black clouds as it seems like like almost like midnight with clashes of lightning streaking across the sky. This entire storm fell upon you in moments, and you will have almost no time to react. But because you have a full complement of a crew, you are almost always prepared for this type of thing. So let's do some skill checks to make sure. So here's the deal. I have stats for your ship, which I will share from you. If Cameron, if you want to talk to me the next time we have a little bit of a meeting, I will make sure I send some stuff to that so you can add it to the Excel spreadsheet as far as the stats for your ship, which include like cannon damaging stats, which I believe one of you actually written down before, so I'd like to cross-reference with you. AC and hit points. After your ship takes a certain amount of hit points, after it like goes below half of its hit points, its speed is halved as its mast and the canvas are damaged, and its just efficacy is reduced. So, with that in mind, wind begins to rock your ship hither and yon as the waves start to swell. We're going to first go to our rigger, Nakano, because...
Before we do that...
Sure.
Is it playing calm music for anybody else?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Hold on.
I didn't know if we were in like a slow-mo kind of like, whoa, no,
Here we go.
everything's fine. Okay.
Now it shouldn't be. It should be in tension.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry, it just wasn't
Sorry.
shuffling for some reason, but it is now. Okay.
Hold on. Angela can't hear anything. Oh, no, you can. Oh.
Okay. Great.
All right.
So we're going to go to our rigger. You are pretty much in charge of the crew. I'm going to tell you in a moment. You are pretty much in charge of the crew that is in charge of like tack and battening down the hatches and sails and all that kind of stuff. You're in charge of like the tack crew, which is like sail crew and all that. Just those people that know what they're doing are the ones that climb up those like grid-like nets and pull down the sails. So the first job to doing something like this is pull up all the sails, because if the wind can easily knock your ship over in high winds. However, there are situations where if the wind is going in your favor, where you're going to want to pull the sails down really quick to try to get over a swell so your ship doesn't capsize and completely flip over. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to roll for, the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to roll a charisma check for you to see how well you are at leading your group of riggers. So just go ahead and first roll a charisma check. So just a d20 plus your charisma modifier at advantage because you have already within a station of leadership.
I got 14.
14, that's pretty good. The riggers this storm came upon them really, really fast, but these are experienced sailors. There is a moment of like, oh no, what do we do? And then they look at you and then you're like, what do you say?
To them?
Yeah, what do you say? While the storm is going across, wind and water and rain just
Hold on
battering.
to your hats.
You say, hold on to your hats, as they grab onto their hats and they jump onto the sails and start pulling ropes down.
I'll run over to the crate.
As you hear pulleys and ropes going through the thing, bunches of sails start to go up. It is then your turn. Please go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check to move about the sails and get the forward tack and the back tack done while they're working on the main sail.
at advantage, right?
Yes, this is at advantage. For each failed one of these checks, your ship will take a certain amount of damage from the elements.
Hold on.
Can I hold an action?
Depends. What is it you're trying to hold? Hold on 1 second.
Call lightning.
I got 15.
I'm trying to, like, if lightning strikes, I'm trying to, like, kind of redirect it in a different path.
Interesting. I'll get to that in a moment. Cool. Nakano, you, not your most graceful move, but because of your spider climbing, are able to run around. There is a moment where you jump from one mast to another, and you pull your spider limbs out, try to, like, grab onto anything, as, like, the lightning crashes, and you can see just as bright as daylight, and then it goes dark again, and though you have dark vision, your vision takes more than half a second to adjust, and for the moment, you're just in complete darkness, and you're not sure what's going on. And then the lightning strikes again, and you can see it, and the mast is a good 3 feet moved because of the way the water had hit it. So you have to adjust and grab it with the edge of your spidery limbs, the other edge almost acting as a sail as the wind kind of like gusted you up higher than you thought you were going to go. But you do clatter onto the edge of it like a cat trying to grab onto the side of a couch while it's falling. And then you do eventually get your grip and then pull up the sail. That is a success. The ship, the Poundbringer, does survive this. Okay, we're gonna move next to. Let me know a scoop. I will on your turn. You can do that. I will get to that in a moment. We're gonna move to the quartermaster. Quartermaster, you are in charge of pretty much the rest of the crew. That is your job. You tell everybody else what else to do.
I thought I was.
That's the bosun, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a bosun, not
That's
the quartermaster. I just keep track of the logs and like make sure we're fed.
Yeah, right. Okay, so right, we're gonna go to the bosun. The Tamron, you're the bosun. You are in charge of the rest of the crew. They're pretty much
everybody go do what you're supposed to do.
Okay, cool. You tell them that. So, and you know in your head what they're supposed to go do is like secure things, especially secure the cannons, the cannon racks, and the cannonballs, so that they don't roll across the deck, slam into something, fall off the edge, and then completely break parts of the ship and blow holes in the ship. Right. So they're securing things like that are on the deck. They're securing like kitchenware. They're battening down the hatches, as it were. They are making sure that any fire that was lit on the ship, that whether it be used for cooking or light, has been doused. Therefore, nothing can knock it free and start a fire in our ship, because that's a big problem. So great. Go ahead and roll a charisma check at advantage to lead these people.
22.
22.
Advantage.
Yeah.
With brutal efficiency, you get these people. You're like, go down to the second deck, make sure all the fires are doused. Go make sure you secure the cannons. Make sure all the kitchenware is made. Make sure Sybil is fine. Like, you know,
make sure Hurt isn't doing something dumb at the bow or something.
Yeah. She's at the bow with her arms out.
Yeah.
Like with the. She is a Storm Herald barbarian, so like there is a lightning strike that kind of like careens past the bowsprit, and it just kind of zips past her a little bit and puts a little arc, and it like hits her storm cloud that is above her as she's like raging and like rage laughing in this whole thing.
Yeah,
she's absolutely loving this. Because she's an agent of chaos. Cool. Then we're gonna do the quartermaster.
Strap her down, though.
Okay, cool. So great. That's what you do. So you send everyone else to take care of all the other mundane thing, and you run up and you tackle her to the ground. Go ahead and roll a athletics check for me.
I'm not trying to tackle. I'm just helping her by strapping her down.
Sure. It is hard to strap something in these conditions.
Athletics.
Yeah, athletics. You can do this at advantage because you have the full crew complement.
Natural 20. 22.
Natural 20. Without disturbing whatever weird ritual she's doing, you just kind of like put in a nice bowline knot around her 2 arms and her waist and just tie her down to give her enough freedom, like having like that waist tether on a child so that they don't like run into tables or stuff like that. And she's free to go, but she will not go off the side of the ship. And she's pretty safe. But you still give her enough freedom to be to go crazy about it. Amazing. You did that really, really well. You've done your job. You feel proud of it. Great. Now we're going to do the quartermaster. The quartermaster, your job, make sure the ledgers, everything. But in this instance, you are the ranger and you have a swim speed and you have all this other stuff. Your job is to keep a lookout to make sure nobody falls off the edge and goes overboard. And if they do, you have to go get them. So here's the deal. We're going to first roll perception checks for you to see if you see anybody go off the side.
Okay, I'll go ahead and climb up the mast half, a little bit, so I can have a little bit better vantage point, so that I keep a lookout. Yeah, during this time. Then what I'll do is I'll tie a very long rope to, just preemptively to my waist, and then to the mast, basically, so that I can go out and
cool. Let's do the perception check first.
If needed. Okay. Fuck me. Nat 1 for a total of 4.
Okay, so as the
we have a lot of crew.
sail is that advantage?
I didn't hear at advantage.
Everything is at advantage. Yeah. Because you have a full crew complement. Everyone, the crew, you all have crew under you that are helping you what it is that you're doing.
8.
Okay. So as the riggers are pulling up the sails and moving the mast across, as you're climbing up the center mast, the foremast spins like a sailboat and knocks you in the back of the head. And you are dazed for a moment. You lose vision and you are unable. You're still tied. You're okay. You're tethered, but you are unable to spot anything over the edge. Here's what I'm going to say now. I'm going to say roll a Constitution saving throw to see if you regain a semblance of consciousness and ability to do things on the ship.
10.
10. You just rouse yourself. But it is a lot. For one moment, you don't know whether the ship is capsized or not, and it takes you a minute to regain your stature. Unfortunately, you were unable to keep watch to see what was going on, but you can try again later. A scoop. You are the powder monkey. It's one of your jobs is to make sure that the powder is secured. The cannons have been already secured by the bosun and the crew. You have to make sure the powder doesn't get wet. If the powder gets wet, that's it. And if the powder ends up getting any fire on it or anything else like that, boom goes the dynamite. So it's to secure the powder, secure the cannonballs, and make sure any of the heavy weaponry that is in the ship doesn't go haywire and cause damage to the crew. Like the swords that are in the armory don't go flinging across and stab somebody in the chest, those kinds of things. So go ahead and first roll a charisma check at advantage to see if you can order the people that are on your crew.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You, again, just point, boom, boom, you go there, you go there, you go there, and they immediately go there. The swords are put down, the halberds are put down, the cannonballs, the top of the crates are shut down and then strapped down. The cannons have already been strapped down, and you make sure the powder is covered with canvas and then wrapped up and banded tight with rope. It's done. In the matter of 12 seconds, it is done with these people, amount of people working with them. So, you said you wanted to use your action to hold your action to call lightning to try to alter its course should nature decide to strike your masts, correct?
Yes.
Absolutely done. So here's what I'm going to do. I was going to roll a complication check as far as the weather is concerned at the end of this round anyway. I'm going to roll this for my check at disadvantage because you did that. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. I'll be next to her. I control the fucking weather.
Yeah, both of you are trying, double, toil and trouble. You're messing with her cloud. You got her hand in your cloud, and and you're channeling the energy. Cool. Amazing. Okay, so that could have been really bad. I rolled a 2 and a 19, so it could have been very, very bad for you. Wonderful. So there is a lightning strike that comes across, and you use call lightning to just make it strike two different sides of you near the bow of the ship as Hurt laughs maniacally. Guys, cool. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if the storm after these, because it takes a while for you to do this, subsides. That's amazing. That's a natural 20, guys. As soon as this storm came down, the storm is gone.
Yeah.
Like a tiny little hurricane, it comes through, and the storm pushes on. The ship took no damage. Everything is secured. If Misheni is a little dazed, but other than that, Hurt looks a little upset because of how fast it went by. Yes, let's do a roll call. Okay. As part of the bosun and the quartermaster. Yes, that's true. The bosun and the quartermaster work together for its roll call. Nobody's missing. Nobody went overboard. Nobody's injured.
Sweet.
Mission, you have a little bit of a bump, but you're okay.
That's fine. I'll just use the rice method. Rest it, ice it.
Look at her, just pass it up now.
You got it, guys.
Slop some algae on there, maybe.
Yes, slop some algae.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
The E is for algae.
Oh my god. Great. So you guys make it through the storm. The rest of the day is smooth sailing, guys. And you make it to, if nothing else, you rest down for the evening and you make it through to the 24th of High Lock. Congratulations. You are 1 day closer. Now you only have 5 days until you get to the Bagaket Archipelago. If nothing else, then who would like to roll the percentile die for the 24th of High Lock? All right, Angela, go ahead.
Yeah.
Can I do the sendings again? Just about.
You want to do the big boy?
Like before you went to bed last night? Yes, you can absolutely do that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it pretty simple. I'm going to do a simulation. I'm just going to roll to see how effective those ads are. And then I'll use that.
Thoughts.
Here's what I'll do. That was one success. You keep track of those successes. That allows you to add 1 to the roll of the roll you make every 6 days. Make sense?
Is that 1 or 2 because of the previous day?
The previous day was not a success. No, people were just a little freaked out. Unfortunately.
What? Someone said, I should go to bed.
Yes, but one person does not a profit make.
Whatever goes is a profit. Okay, it's 1.
83 for the
83.
Oh, that's
before we go to bed. I'll try, and between the storm and that happening, I'll try to fish for some of the fish that have super cool spines, so that you can add it to Nakano's studded leather.
Oh, cool! Yeah. You know what? Go ahead and roll a survival or nature check at advantage. That's dope as shit.
Uh, 22.
22. So you actually come across a pod of swordfish that you are easily able to catch, and you catch like a good 10 of them. And you're able to, and you're like, yeah, now you got fish. Tons of meat for the foreseeable future, and you have all these little swords and you're able to saw off the tips of them. So Nakano, you now have swordfish swords, like noses, on whether you wanted them on your pauldrons or your knuckles. You can have them there.
Definitely gonna use that.
Do you want them on your pauldron? Your knuckle? Great, close. So there's 10 swordfish. So you have one swordfish nose, spine nose, that go to about 3 inches on coming out from each of the knuckles of your fingers. As 10 swordfish are there.
Now I'm what's his name? The werewolf.
Wolverine.
Wolverine. The werewolf.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember.
It might as well be.
Yeah.
Maybe, sure.
No.
Speaking of which, the 23rd did have 3 full moons. All the moons were full.
That sounds spooky.
Yes, things happen in the tides. Maybe that's the reason why there was a huge storm that came as fast as it went away.
You got 10 swordfish? That's Swordfish are incredibly difficult to catch.
Yeah, well, you got a ranger who's amazing
I feel
at
like the waters were turned up. It was great,
Yeah.
you know. It's and swordfish is
They
delicious.
often
I don't
take
know.
like 6 hours to reel in too.
So here's the deal: you guys have like a dope ass fucking net,
It's
and
impressive.
Hurt dives into the water now that she can breathe water, and just like starts to like stab a couple of them while in the pod because she has
Oh,
a
she
swim
can breathe
speed
water?
and she can breathe water now.
water?
Wait,
Yeah.
who's breathing water?
Hurt.
Hurt?
What?
After this storm, she feels invigorated and she dives into the water and she has a swim speed and she can breathe water now. It's one of her storm herald abilities when she reaches level 7.
It's dope as hell.
She keeps getting cooler and cooler.
She's Captain Hurtthorn in the making.
So you see
Yeah.
her like with your rib dagger in her mouth going like this and like mermaiding it through the water with these pod and then just like grabbing her dagger and go and just shanking the swordfish in the pod as she's swimming alongside of them.
Whoa.
Is it because we found a super cool hat earlier too? Like,
Yes, right. Yeah, you
bottom of
found
the
it
crate.
super cool. So she's wearing this Peter Pan hat that's like super aerodynamic as far as when it comes to, so she can keep it on while she's swimming, and it just like parts the water across her, and it like fits her nice and snug. But it's like a dark blue hue rather than a green with a red feather in it. Cool. So great. So you have swordfish knuckles now. I'll say what it does is that it gives your unarmed strikes now D4 if you want to punch with your fists.
An extra D4?
No, just a D4 because usually an unarmed strike for those who aren't proficient is just 1 damage period.
Oh.
The only people that have unarmed strikes as damage immediately are monks. Cool. So. Today, unfortunately, it does continue raining, but it is a light rain. The sun is still out and it's raining, and there's a nice rainbow across the sky.
Nice
It goes from
rainbow.
one cloud to another. It's really, really nice. You see some flying fish that come out of the water and spray sea mist across the area. Sploosh, sploosh. But the rest of the day is well, and you guys move on. That is it for the 24th of Hylock. You set off your ads again, I expect.
I don't like this. I'm going on record as saying I don't like this.
what? You don't like that? It's
Well, it's not going well. So.
It's self-thought. I'm using 4 spells. I mean, I guess
It feels intrusive
Yeah,
to me.
I have to dumb it down and simulate it to just be one roll. Just for time's sake. So not too well. Here's the deal. You're starting to understand that you might want to like maybe write an ad copy before you start doing these rather than just ad hocking it. Because you're kind of improving it now and you're being like, okay, yeah, this person's voice sounds like this, and you're kind of improving it now, and it appears to just kind of put people off and freak people out a little bit more than it is being successful.
It's just a self-thought.
That's what the dice say, so that's what's happening.
Do you physically actually hear your thoughts though?
I don't know if you guys do, but I do.
Oh, your dogs are humping.
Ever try to change the volume of your own voice that's in your head?
Yeah,
You can't do it.
Well,
we not do that?
it doesn't have a volume.
Yeah. Isn't that wild though? You can't change it.
But
Cool.
does sending have a volume?
I feel like I kind of can.
yeah, you kind of can.
Yeah, if you yell, it'll yell. But I mean, it's still only mental. It's only a mental voice. Basically, what you say out loud, they hear in their brain, and then what they say out loud, you hear in your brain. That's just how it happens.
But they hear.
I get what you mean.
Inside
So
their
you
head.
can think
Yes.
loud, but you can think quiet too.
Yes, like you can hear a whisper and you can hear screaming, but the actual volume in your head doesn't change. But anyway, it's more like a game thing. But anyway, so you're getting the sense, a scoop, as per your decent amount of passive insight, that you're creeping more people out than you're actually making interested in the bread and breakfast. So it occurs to you that maybe you should come up with an ad copy. Like come up with a way and being like where it seems like maybe they came up with maybe like an Inception type of ad copy. Maybe they came up with this idea on their own and you're just like bringing it into their minds. If you continue to want to do this.
That's what I was saying. Like, maybe I should go to the bread and breakfast. Maybe I should go to the bread and breakfast.
Okay, cool. So
That's what I've been doing.
okay, but here's the deal. It just hasn't. The dice say it haven't been working, so it just hasn't been working.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, that's why I kept saying self-thought.
What I'm saying is that you might want to work on it more. Your insight is telling you that you might want to work on it more. Being like, okay, maybe this isn't working.
I should go to bed and breakfast. Why am I thinking this? I deserve it. I need it. I really do deserve it.
Yeah, something like that, or like, what really sounds really good right now? Bread. I could really use some bread for breakfast. Why don't I head on over to bed and breakfast? Stupid stuff like that. Granted, it also occurs to you, there's this tiny little voice in the back of your head that just says, this is very wrong. But it's very, very tiny.
Money's money.
Okay, cool. So that is the end of the 24th, correct? So we're moving on to the 25th.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll do sushi next.
Who wants to roll for the travel today?
Miss Jenny?
All right. Give me one moment.
After the 25th, you will have 3 more days of travel to get to the Baka Archipelago.
It's just a tiny voice, like
It's a tiny little voice.
57.
Something is horribly wrong. 57.
Me saving thousands of people doesn't justify that tiny voice.
Okay, so here's the deal. Your ship, something about the tides of this storm moving through causes a low to high pressure ratio that has long since passed, and you enter a windless doldrum that lasts for 3 days, and you lose 3 days of
3
travel.
days?
You lose 3 days of travel where there's no wind, unless you have abilities amongst yourselves that could get the ship moving in a windless state.
10 pounds of force, baby.
You could do your 10 pounds of force, and that'll give you a 0.01 miles per hour movement.
I can call to the sea and ask for help from our animal friends.
What are you casting?
I'm not casting anything. I can just talk to animals.
Okay, cool.
He's a
you want to roll
thaumaturgy in the water?
Okay, you put your head into
the water.
Okay, you put your head into the water and you use thaumaturgy and you just try to do Aquaman and send for help.
That was a lot better than what I did.
Sorry. So I roll a natural 20. Guess who shows up? A pod of psionic whales shows up to move your ship along. Io is not one of them. Unfortunately, this appears to be a different pod of psionic whales, but you guys have some thoughts. Anybody else doing something to help move the ship along in its windless, weatherless state?
I can do.
I'll jump down in there and drag a rope and try to swim with the whales for sure.
Okay, cool, sure.
That's happening.
I'll do control water and move it forward. I think that
okay,
only
cool.
lasts 10
You
minutes,
could do it. You could do it a couple times. Yeah, sure. What about you, Tamron?
I mean, I'm sit there picking my teeth, I guess.
10 pounds of thrust?
Yeah, 10 pounds of thrust.
10 pounds of thrust. Cool. So, where the ship would not have moved at all, the ship does move. Here's what I'll say is that although the ship is moving, it is still moving at a very slow pace. And throughout these 3 days, the whales do help you, and eventually they let go. So pretty much it will shorten this to, rather being 3 days of stalled travel, it'll only be 2 days of stalled travel. So we move through the 25th, we end with barely any movement, and we move through the 26th, and barely anything happens.
I still have gusts.
27th, but we just move 1 day's worth of travel, right? We still do those 3 days. It's just that we move 1 day of travel, right?
Yeah, that's not that much.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So technically, it only
it's still 3 days of no wind.
Right. So just to make it simple, your ship loses 2 days rather than 3 days of travel. So it just means that by the end of the day on the 27th, you still have three more days of travel.
Can I keep shouting at the mast with thaumaturgy? Does that like create
that
air?
doesn't move air. Not really. Nothing. Not discernibly. No. I mean,
all right, then I'll just use the rest.
Show me a sailor that shouts out of his sail and that moves, and I will let you do that.
If I can roll a d20.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, cool. So I assume, Scoop, are you working on your ad copy?
I can't today because I use. Well, maybe. Actually, let me see.
Well, yeah, that's right. If you're helping move the ship, you're using all your spell slots, so we're not doing ads.
No. Wind. Control water is only level 4.
Only. That's the highest spell slot. But yes, okay, I understand. Okay.
So
cool.
I'm still doing ad copy.
Okay, cool. So we'll postpone that for a moment then. Okay, so guys, it is the end of the 27th. Starting on the 28th of High Lock. You guys have 3 more days of travel to do. Who wants to roll the percentile die?
Suppose I will.
Did I get a point for my ad copy? Ad hoc or whatever?
Well,
my newly improved
guys.
ad hoc.
Let's
It's a
start at
63.
fresh. Okay.
Oh no, this is bad.
63?
What?
63.
63.
I don't know. I just feel it.
Unfortunately, this is bad. This is unfavorable.
Oh, come on.
Whims.
I was kidding.
Unfortunately, this is bad. This is unfavorable whims. You lose a whole day, like a negative day. You are blown in the opposite direction you are trying to go. Almost as if something doesn't want you to get to the Bagaket Archipelago. Almost as forces are aligning against you. So at the end of the 28th, you will still have 4 days of travel to do. Because you lost a whole day. You went backwards today. Unless you guys would like to use abilities to try to counteract these effects.
10 pounds, baby.
10 pounds.
Yeah. Did the whales stay for long, or?
The whales left after the doldrums. 3 days is a long time for them to stick, or 2 days is a long time for them to stick around.
That's true. Yeah, I'll use control water again.
Okay, cool.
Look forward.
Anybody else? I will say that because the wind is blowing in the opposite direction, it's really hard to tack here. But if the rigger would like to try some wildly novel tacking skills,
sharp turns.
Yeah, some sharp turns where they go perpendicular to the wind and then turn and then change the tack. You can attempt to do that.
I'll cast Longstrider on Nakano so that she can move faster to try to do that.
You got it. Nakano, that will give you advantage on this roll. I'll say this is a straight dexterity check, and you have advantage on it. Can you hear me now?
Can you tell me what they're saying?
I said you get a straight dexterity check here, but you get advantage because Macheni casted Longstrider on you, which makes you faster.
Okay.
Want some guidance with that?
Yeah, you can guidance her, yeah.
I mean, okay.
You got it, girl.
Ooh. On advantage. Wow, they're both 17s.
Still good.
That's
plus
really good.
3. My dexterity.
So 20 plus the guidance.
Well, how much is the guidance?
It's a D4.
Okay.
Well, anyways.
2.
22. Again, Nakano's skill in this method is unparalleled as she backflips and turns. And what you think she's just showing off and doing flourishes, every acrobatic move she makes, it has a purpose. And it is specifically designed to make sure she doesn't waste a single millisecond getting from one tack to another. You see within the course of 6 seconds, she's at the front and then she's at the back, adjusting both tacks. At one point, your ship is actually moving backward towards the stern, but in the right direction that you want to go. So here's what happens. I'll say that you don't lose the day at all because of this amazing tack, and you pretty much like keep your ship just kind of like spinning around so that you're still moving forward, whether you're going through the stern or the bow, so that you don't gain a day, but you don't lose a day. So you kind of like stay put. As you keep as like a leaf in the wind, it spins around in the sea.
So we didn't lose any days, but we also didn't gain any, so we just kind of stayed in the same spot.
You kind of stayed in the same spot, yeah. So you prevented the winds that would have pushed you back a whole day's of travel from really changing you by you like making sure the tack just didn't catch as much wind. Amazingly done. You pulled up some sails, but had to like pull others down in order to have that like when they were reversed, like backdraft gusts. Cool. So awesome. So you still have 3 more days of travel at the end of the 28th. You wanted to do ad copy?
Yep.
A Scoop, I wanted to do me a favor. I want you to roll a charisma check for me to see how good your ad copy is. Or persuasion. You can do persuasion if you like.
Can I do enhance ability first?
You have spell slots for it?
Of course.
Okay, yeah, then yes.
What was it, charisma or persuasion?
Persuasion or straight, well, most likely persuasion, because it's gonna have the same modifier unless you're proficient.
I got 11.
11. It's better. The language on it is a little less invasive. Again, that little tiny voice in the back of your head, this is wrong. We shouldn't be doing this. But you douse it and say, no, go away. This is money. Go ahead.
To help for the greater good in the future.
Roll a luck check for you. Okay. With pretty good success, you actually send some of the bread and breakfast ads to some of the members of the court that you met during the initial party that you got some of their names and likeness from. And they're like, oh, what a novel idea. I would love to go there. Live like some of the lower, like, I would love to see how the other half lives. You can consider that a success. You can add 1. Great. Actually, we didn't roll for the 26th, did we?
What?
No, we didn't roll for the 26th. No, we did not.
You gotta roll. I'll say this gets +1 because you had 1 success. And then you'll get 1 success for the other one.
How many? I got 3 successes then.
Well, no, I'm saying for the 26, you had only banked 1 success.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead and roll just a luck check for me.
14.
14 plus 1. So 15. Okay. That because you got 1 success. You add 1 for each success.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So that's exactly what you needed in order to make money. A 10 is break even. Anything below a 10 is you lose money, and a 15 you make money, and you make a decent amount of money. So as you send sendings out over the course of the next couple of days, you learn that your bread and breakfast has made 60 gold, 10 gold for each day.
Yay.
I'll go ahead and add that to the list then, the ledger.
Okay, moving into the 28th. Now we're on the 29th. In the early wee hours of the morning of the 29th, as the third shift of the crew is about and looking up at the sky, the Aurora Borealis covers the starry sky right before dawn starts to rise over the horizon. These magnetic strips of green and blue ribbons streak across the sky, and move in this absolutely beautiful, mellifluous pattern, their grace upon your ship, almost as if it was just a show, just for you. Not another ship in sight across the entire bit of horizon. The stars, with no light pollution, stretch and reach all the way to the edge of the horizon, so you know exactly where the sky ends and the water begins. The sun then rises, the aurora fades from view. This is the 29th. Who's rolling their percentile die?
Did we all roll again?
Kanos. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Use the big ball.
Big ball.
Big ball.
We say it's like
Oh,
Meccano's
my
birthday.
lucky number. It's my lucky number 8. Let's say a good thing.
This is the thing. Guys,
Pain and
favorable
death.
winds today. With as being the rigor of the tack, favorable winds hit up. You move twice as fast than you would on a normal day. You guys get 2 days of travel rather than 1.
Can we increase that more?
Not by a whole days of travel. There's only bearing in mind aerodynamics and physics, there's only so fast. There's like a terminal velocity for as fast as the ship can move at a certain point. Unless the ship picks off of the sea and starts to fly, that's like there's only so fast that the ship can move through the water. So yes, this thing carves through the waves as the rigger just does excellent job getting amazing tack with the rest of your rigging crew. So come the 30th will be your last day of travel. A scoop, what are you doing on the 30th then? You doing anything? Or you're doing anything for the night of the 29th?
Just hold off.
Okay.
I'll use the sending spells, but I just want to get through it.
Okay, cool.
I'll just send to an update for style what was it?
Boss Madoka?
Shylong, Boss
The Salty
Madoka.
Mystic.
Yeah, pretty much just get updates.
Okay, I understand. You want to send it to the Seeker, the Salty Mystic.
Yeah, tell them where we are, pretty much.
You got it. Cool. You just give them an
Any
update.
updates?
They appreciate the update, and they're glad to be kept apprised. Or apprised.
Along with the Argent Flame.
Okay, cool. You send a message to the Argent Flame, just letting you know, hey, we're on the ship. We're headed to the Bagaket Archipelago. We're trying to find out more about this Eldritch Idol. And signs point to the Bagaket Archipelago. Do you tell them of the other 2 locations?
Do I have enough?
And who are you sending to? Because
I honestly just always send it to
Argus?
Trishani.
Trishani. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
all right.
a little easier because you're here.
Yeah, I mean, given the amount of sendings that you have, and if you are very, very, for the sake of time, if you are very, very sparse with your words, you can say, headed to Bagaket Archipelago on the sea for info about Eldritch Idol. Other locations include, what is it? The Salval Atoll and the balls. Shrusha Haven. Cool. Yeah, easy. Yeah, you can send that. That'll just fit in there.
I do want to do another additional sending, asking are the Argent Flame what the host looks like, or if they know, because they did warn us about him. But all we know is that he was, in a black cloak.
I'm gonna say you're gonna have to wait. If you sent messages to people to keep you updated, you're gonna have to wait until tomorrow because you'll be out. You're gonna have to wait until tomorrow to ask that.
Why?
Because you only have 3.
I have the flower.
Does that bring you to 3 or does that bring you to 4?
4.
Shit. Okay, yeah, you can do that. So you asked Trishani
Plus, we
about
would have
the
had a
host?
response.
Yeah.
To the sending too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. You ask about the host? Okay. Go ahead, Trishani.
The hosts can take many forms. However, half-elf wears checkered headdress, Noelle just can't remember how tall he is off the
He's
the
not
top
a
of my
half-elf.
head.
He's a full elf.
I thought you said before he was half elf.
If I did, then I apologize. We'll double check that. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll make sure that information is corrected if it needs correcting.
We've only seen his eyes when he's in his elven form. Be careful.
I just repeated off to the group.
Do you tell them about... Okay, I guess you don't have enough.
I guess, I mean, because there would have been a response to the one message we could have said.
Yeah, but you didn't ask anything about the host. Oh, well, you might have told him.
Yeah.
Okay, do you tell them about how there's multiple of them?
Yeah. I say, there are multiple. He likes tea. If that's any help.
Right. So you get information that there are, like, he has copies of himself. Like, around.
Full powers, copies. It's crazy. I want to know more. But...
Okay, cool.
He doesn't know you guys.
He doesn't?
Well, you can't respond to that, but... Okay.
Well,
all right.
I just said he doesn't know you guys though. So.
No, I just couldn't hear what she said because I heard a little chewing in the background from the dog.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. So, who wants to roll for the 30th of Hylock? By the way, Scoop, remember the 32nd is going to be the day in which you check to see how much money your bread and breakfast has made.
I got a 78.
78.
Oh no.
Oh boy, guys. Oh boy.
A stupid smile.
More light rain happens and another rainbow crosses the horizon.
Yeah.
Yay.
This is a little heavier than the previous rain. And as you move through here, sometimes you can see the edges of storms when you're out at sea just because of how far you can see into the horizon. You look behind you, there is no storm. You look ahead of you towards where the Bagaket archipelago is coming into view. The entirety of all of the land masses that you can see among the archipelago are shrouded in rain. Medium falling rain. It continues through the day, into the night, as though you're sailing into a permanently rainy climate. The 30th of Hylock ends. You are within docking range of one of the islands of the Bagaket archipelago, but should you choose to, you could also keep a wide berth for now and sail into land closer to put anchor somewhere for the following day. What would you like to do?
I'm sorry, you said that was still the 30th of Hylock or the 31st?
Yes, this is the end of the 30th of Hylock.
Okay.
Should we maybe just kind of like circle it and just kind of observe?
I mean, I think that makes sense. We don't know fully what's here, but given what happened on the other island, I think it's possible that there's some other things at work, of course, right? We could see more ghosts, we could see who knows what. So,
right.
Actually, if we're pretty close, I could try to use one of my... I get this kind of tingly feeling about certain things. If I focus, I could try to figure out if there's something on the island.
That's a good idea.
All right. So I'll use a spell slot to use Primeval Awareness.
You got it. Is the range of that a mile or 10 miles or?
1 mile.
Okay.
radius. So any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead.
Say that
Move
slowly
back a
for
little
me. Aberrations.
Celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead that are within a mile.
Okay. You sense elementals within 1 mile of your current position.
Okay. Yeah, I'm nothing, not ghosts necessarily, but I really feel a strong tie to, like the fire and water and all the elementals that are present. There's something there, for sure.
That's cool.
I mean, it's cool. It could be cool. It could be not cool. We don't know. I mean, it's nature's cool, but could be really wrathful too. So
I don't think we've met anyone bad with that so far. I mean, I have that ghost
You fought
thing in
massive
me.
water elementals at that meteor crater. That almost.
I'm just saying when she
So I'm really hoping we run into some stone elementals.
what are you saying, Scoop?
I'm saying whenever you use that power, like you had Antinopi or Hannah, me, and now whatever's over there, or whatever's in the water too.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. It's look, it's kind of good. It's like asking the weatherman about 7 days in advance what's going to happen, right? It's like there could be a chance of elementals, but I don't know exactly when or how many or what type of elemental, that kind of thing. But I know that's at least an elemental front coming through. So it's not bad. It's not good. It's just it is what it is, I suppose.
So it takes a day for us to get there, or we're pretty much almost there.
I can see it. Can't you?
You can see the landmass. Yeah, I mean it is. You could find a spot to anchor off of the shore. It's a large island, at least the one that you are closest to in the archipelago, and it is something that you could in the morning. Take you no more than an hour to find a spot to anchor, and then hop on a dinghy and get onto the landmass itself.
Okay.
Granted, you also know from what Carver told you guys that these locations that are similar, that have similar iconography to these things, are not above the water but below it.
Do you want me to use some divination to see what lies ahead? Say if we keep taking this course, will we be in trouble?
I mean, if you feel it's a good use of your magic today, we certainly...
I mean, I'm asking because it's quite a costly spell. 25 gold.
Oh, that is costly. I mean, my take is that we fought things like this before. Well, we fought things like this before. Could be friend or foe. And we don't know if it's above or below water, right? So it could be not even on the island. It could be a mile that way. And I point towards the sea. So I would vote no in this instance, but it's ultimately up to you what you want to do. Well,
that's why I'm asking you guys. I
mean, it seems like a pretty big island. I mean, we couldn't hurt to explore it, right?
No, we're gonna explore it no matter what. I'm just saying, if we go this direct course straight to it, will we be hit by enemies or in danger?
Oh, surely.
I mean, that's the word, right? Yeah. I mean, you're gonna run into like a nasty guy or gal anyway. Yeah, you go. So, or plant. You got to watch out for those plants.
We'll hold on to our gold then.
Okay.
Okay. As you guys...
Should we rest on the ship or go ashore?
I'm well rested, but
Yeah, we'll go to shore.
It is the evening of the 30th.
maybe we just wait for daylight then.
It's up to you.
Yeah, we should probably just wait for daylight.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, not all of us can
Don't
see
want any
that.
battles at the night time anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not fun.
So as the image of one of the massive islands of the Bagaket archipelago lies on the near horizon, you guys, in this medium rain that continues to pelt your robes and canvases and the wooden of the deck and spattering the canvas of the canvas sails, you pull up the sails, drop anchor, find your space close to the fire under your deck to dry yourselves off as the crew gives watch. Having given warning of how dangerous this area may be, and knowing that you may well be going into a den of danger.
I think the whole crew was going to come with us.
Who's gonna watch the ship?
No, I'm saying you're still on the ship right now. I'm just saying third shift is on watch. Like they're
I see.
They're watching the ship. Like there's people in the crow's nest, even though it's raining, making sure like their danger doesn't set upon you while you're.
I understand.
Could I, before we go to bed, just do the ritual for detect magic and just look at the rain? See if it's like magical rain in a sense? I don't...
Sure. Yeah. You can absolutely do that. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me.
It's not bad. 13.
13. There is something odd about this rain. You're not sure if it's magical or not. Detect magic doesn't really give you anything, but something in your gut says that this isn't naturally occurring.
Okay. Figured, but...
With that sense of unease... Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
With that sense of unease, you all find a place to dry yourselves near the fire as Sybil and Tilda make you some food to try to rest for one, at least hopefully, a full night's long rest with a full belly before you go into the depths of danger that very moment might wait for you.
As we're sitting by the fire trying to dry off, given what's happened at other spots, that then I try to reach out using my other ability and see if there is a macaroni portal nearby.
What is the distance on that?
That is a distance of
Macaroni door.
1 mile. The closest planar portal within 1 mile.
Okay. You sense an extremely strong presence of some veil, some tear in the fabric of the planes themselves, some surface tension that gives rise to the question of which reality is reality, as your mind just starts to go mad at the thought of which one is real, and you like see yourself, like you almost enter a trance-like state as you see yourself when you're underwater and you look up and the light is glancing off the surface of the water and it looks like this odd, strange veil, and you just see your face laying flat, rushing on the death straight up to it, and you burst through and break the water, and you just feel like that feeling is within a mile of you.
Once I break through, as we're around the fire, it's definitely here too, guys. It's here.
Okay, well that's good news, right? I mean, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I mean, it confirms exactly what, it's not just bird droppings on the map. No offense, Scoop. But, yeah, no, it's here.
There's definitely something here. And as you, with all these senses of odd, unnatural rain, a veil...
I also know the direction and the distance to it.
It is in one of the denser locations of the larger island. It is on the island itself.
Okay, it's that way. Feel it coming from that way.
Great. Can we just follow that direction then? Will that take us right to it?
You can attempt to.
Do you want me to cast divination on the direction the official direction we're going then?
I mean, do you mean just like northeast? Do you mean just like northeast, west, south, like that kind of direction, or?
Well, just go. If we go straight forward to the macaroni door.
Mm-hmm.
If we wouldn't encounter anything, and what we would encounter.
Ah, yes, that makes more sense. I thought at first you were just talking about like, hey, do I have a compass telling me which way to go, or which way we're going? But that makes much more sense if it's what are we encountering.
He thinks you're upstairs.
What happened?
Okay.
Are you casting divination?
Let's just continue real quick. I just got to read this spell real quick. I just know it's an event that occurs 7 days. I'm just gonna say I don't have it prepared.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll just wait till tomorrow.
So as these senses of unease, of unnatural rain, a veil between two realities sets upon the horizon within a dense forest of an island not too far, the almost guarantee of danger in your near future. Your minds are heavy and restless as they fall asleep this evening. Difficult it is to relinquish yourselves to subconsciousness as this sense of unease causes your fight or flight responses to almost continually be triggered. But the good meal that Sybil and Tilda have helped sits well and heavy in your stomach, and eventually sleep does take you. You awake the next morning on the 31st of High Lock with a pitter-patter of continual rain still to hit the deck. Some bloop, 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 drips and drops still making their way through the creaking floorboards. You look up to the trap door above the deck, knowing what lies ahead of you, or at least hoping that you know what lies ahead of you. An island that houses some sort of tear. Captain Avery comes down from the deck, his peg leg grinding into the wooden steps as he creaks, tips his hat one way, and a bunch of water sloughs off and splatters to the ground. There's one time I felt like this before. And that's what caused me to lose sight of me beloved island and me own limbs.
You're breaking apart, what?
There's one time when I felt this feeling that I feel in me balls before.
Okay.
And that's when I lost sight of me beloved island. I lost sight of me limbs. And I lost touch with my crew. Whatever you do there on that island, make sure you're careful. Not everything is what it seems. And that's where we're going to end our session.
super ominous, bro.
Great. Yes.
Wow.
So we're ending it at the morning of the 31st of Hylock with the rain pelting down upon the ship still. The large island of Bagaket Archipelago off on the horizon, and Captain Avery giving you an ominous warning of odd feeling. And we're going to pick up there next time.
I have a question. Am I able to keep myself dry constantly with prestidigitation?
You can. Depends on
nice.
Well, here's the deal. You're dry for about 2 seconds before you get pelted with rain again, and then after 6 seconds you can cast prestidigitation. So there's a good 1/3 of the time you would be dry because rain keeps falling, right? So you can prestidigitate and dry yourself until rain keeps falling on you. So
I see. Yeah.
It's like trying to dry yourself while you're underwater. It works, but not for very long.
Does that create air if I do that?
No. No. That's no. I cannot set that precedent. That's too crazy. Great, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned and check out our channel, and make sure you watch the gluten talk for this episode, and so we can talk more about it. And don't forget to like and subscribe and everything. And as always, guys, stay safe out there. Bye.
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 We have fun here.
Oh, he said it, didn't he?